I am not a CG apologist. I'm not. You know that I hate the fleet meta, but we need to make this video because people are talking about it. And yes, I just failed tier 3 for like the 5th time, and I want to cry. But that being said, this is not the worst event ever. It's basically just an assault battle. And what do assault battles have? Characters that you have to use for them. And we do not have all the characters to use for this. And so people are like, oh, but I can't beat this tier with my gear 5. And it's like, well, yeah, you have one character of 5. So yes, I can see why people are upset. This is the first set going through and people spent money. They don't want to miss out on the rewards on the, you know, top end. And I feel like the cadence could have been done better to prevent something like this. But also, this is where the whole lack of CG apologist comes in, is the fact that if you go and look at Lord Vader in this event, he still doesn't have his changes. He's supposed to have things where, you know, it says like the unaligned force user stuff for having like faster ultimate and that type of thing. That's all supposed to be saying Darkside clone troopers as well. Has not changed in his kit to reflect that yet. And so even with like the idea of having multiple clone troopers and that type of thing, we are missing a big piece of this, and I think CG needs to do some kind of makeup for that and should be called out on this 100%. The fact that we still don't have the Tarkin change or the Lord Vader change is very upsetting, especially with the second character coming out next week, and we now have the kit reveal for the new character coming out next week. I do think CG has some things to talk to. You know, we should be pushing back on them for sure, but the event is not garbage. It's just as you know, okay of an event as any assault battle. I gotta be honest. Like, it's just characters that are overtuned. You know, they say it straight up. Your opponents have increased stats for this battle that are not represented in the player obtainable version. You know, it's just a whole bunch of overtuned characters. It's not awful. And like, you know, I appreciate that you get to fight Jocasta new. And I appreciate that it's in the Jedi Temple, so you get a little bit of that Order 66 vibe. I hope for the raid they don't just end up recycling all these backgrounds, because these are all backgrounds that we've seen in other events, and other, like, you know, like I believe this one's from the JMK event, if I recall. The one for Keller and Beck, I believe, is just the temple room, right, from the Yoda event. Like, all of these are just, you know, they're just from events we've already had. So I really hope they don't utilize the same things for the raid. They have like 3-6 months, however long they're actually taking. They claim 3 months. Like, they have the time to make up some new stuff. This one's from the Keller and Beck's part of the Mommy Mando event. Like, they have the time to build this out. I really hope they do. They should not just reuse assets like this, but like to get something like this where it's an assault battle level and we are getting some cool materials out of it, plus new characters are now only $100 to buy, whereas back when in the good old days of, you know, marquee characters, we were looking at $300 for a day one character. To be able to get a week in, get it for only $100 now is a much better thing. Is that going to be something that's accessible for everyone? No, but it does mean that some of us can like save up our allowances and be like, you know, I have some fun money and there's a character I really enjoy, and I'll drop $100 for them. You know, I do appreciate the changes they're making, and I do appreciate this event in general. I don't think it's the worst event by any means. All the assault battles are unimpressive when it comes to comparatively to other things. Compared to a raid, they don't have as many mechanics. It's literally just stat-based characters increased. You know, all of those ones are just... It's really not something that we're going crazy, going bananas over. So I don't feel like this is a disappointing event. I do think that we need to talk to CG about Lord Vader's kit getting fixed sooner rather than later. But overall, I mean, not awful. And like, if we were to have all 4 of the clones and this was impossible, then yeah, obviously I'd have a problem with it. But right now we literally have 1 clone and that's it. And the fact they gave us the one with the summon first, so that way we could do some of the tiers, I do appreciate. Like, I do appreciate that they dropped the attacker with a summon and with the one that has the cheese with Lord Vader, so that way we can get a little bit of the cheese going and allow ourselves with some good RNG to pull this off. Like, I think that there's an argument to be said that CG is trying to make this at least somewhat accessible, even though we aren't, you know, getting the full picture. So, yes, CG has some problems. No, this isn't the worst event, and it's tuned for all the clones. We knew that a week ago. So, I'll get off my soapbox now. Let me know in the comments section what your experience has been with this. Additionally, if you're looking to try and beat it with a low gear, I have heard from people that typically all potency or offense health are the two best ways to do it. I personally like the idea of having potency because landing that stun is one of the nicest things in the world in this event so far for me. And so even with a low gear, we've had some people do it at low gear with like all potency as well as all offense health as their mods. So little thing to help you out if you have a low star, or, you know, if you have a high star, you can also try the same thing. But having a fast Apo also helps a ton, just because some of these characters mods are just insanely overdone in this event. So having that extra speed allows you to get the wombo combo of the Lord Vader dots, and then, you know, the activating of dots on Apo. So, and this is doing actually fairly well auto basic. I wonder if it can actually make it through auto basic. This would be entertaining if we could make it in auto basic. Well, there goes Lord Vader. It was fun while it lasted. When will Tarkin get his rework? Who knows? Tomorrow, 3 days from now, Wednesday. Who knows? We have no idea. But we don't know when the stuff's coming, but we're hoping it comes soon. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for giving a damn.